Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. This morning I was reading some in Chuck Sees a New Pair of Glasses, and it's a section where he's talking about the difference between telling people something and sharing with them. And he's talking about how sharing is so important in Alcoholics Anonymous. And this idea transfers out to any kind of recovery program or any kind of spiritual or moral outreach that you perform in your life or in your recovery. I'm going to read a little bit from the book, talk about some of the different things he talks about in this section. He says, "Now in all our affairs means at home. You see, the thing that makes this program work for us is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope, one with another in love, who share. There are very few people in Alcoholics Anonymous that'll tell you anything. We don't tell, we share." So, big difference here is that when we're sharing our experience with other people, what we're really doing is trying to just take into account that we only know. This is the humility plays a huge role in this. We have to take into account that we only know what life has been like for us. We don't know what life has been like for other people. We don't know what their experience is like. We don't know what it's like in their head. We don't know what kind of thoughts they have on a day-to-day basis. We don't know everything they've experienced, and therefore we can't see the world the way they see it. So we can't assume to know and to tell them what they should do. All we can do is share what we did to get to where we are. And that involves humility, the humility of knowing what are our limits of knowledge, what are the limits of human knowledge, and why we should appreciate that other people don't experience things exactly the same way that we do. And he goes on to tell this great story about how he learned to relate to his youngest son. And he talks about having a son who was very artistic growing up, who had been sent off to school to learn how to do art and had majored in philosophy, and came back and had all these ideas that Chuck felt like were kind of crazy ideas. And he proceeded to tell his son why these ideas were not right, and it didn't end well, of course. And so he, as he was reflecting on this, he was looking out the window of his house, and he realized that every time he had visitors in his house, they would tell him what a nice view he had and what they saw out the window of his house. And he realized they were never telling him what he saw out the window. They were sharing with him what they saw. And that's what he needed to be doing more of with his son. And he needed to also understand that his son had a different view of the world. And what he said is, "I started thinking something's wrong with me. It isn't the kid, it's me. He sees things I don't see." So we share because, again, humility plays a huge role in this. We respect the fact that other people see in the world and experience in the world things we do not. And the world doesn't fit into all of our categories. We've got to understand that other people see things differently. And so the value is that we share what we experience, and then we listen to other people to hear what they experience. And so it was a really good story and a really good reminder that, the important things in this program are and in any kind of relation that we have with other people, are recognizing that there are so many differences in the way that we see things in life, in the way that we experience life, that one of the greatest acts of love is to share what we have and what we experience and accept that same kind of sharing from someone else. And that's so critical, whether it's with a parent or a spouse or a child or a friend or someone in need, a stranger in need. That's one of the greatest acts of love, is to share experience, as we say in Alcoholics Anonymous, to share our experience, strength, and hope with other people and allow them to share whatever they have back with us and accept it, knowing that it's coming from a place that we can't ever truly understand because we're not in their shoes. So I loved this because it does represent a place where humility plays a huge role in this, and I normally wouldn't think about it that much in terms of sharing, and why sharing rather than telling is an act of humility, is an act of recognition of the limitations of what I can know as a person when it comes to what other people's experiences in life truly have been. That's it for today. Hope you have a good day, and I'll be back here tomorrow with more.